So I looked up here just a little bit the Zohar that Rebbe refers to. You have to, okay, you're a man, afterward you just post. Even if you don't understand Yiddish, it doesn't matter. You hear the opening words of the Fabrengen Purim Tavshin Yud Aleph. You have to hear it because just hearing the way that Rebbe says it, you'll see. It's what we're talking about over here. It's not just the words. It's who's saying the words, where the words are coming from, and you just hear that to a degree in just listening. So here's the background. This is what the Zohar says. He starts off with quoting the Zohar. The Zohar said like this: Omar Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yosef says, I'll just give the translation. We find in the Sefer of Rav Hamnuna Sava, quoted, Rav Hamnuna the elder quoted extensively in the Zohar. In his book, we find that in his book are written the Seidas of the Seid of Tkiyas of Rosh Hashanah. You find Tlasu B'chein, U'B'chein, U'B'chein, U'B'chein. 3 times the words of B'chein. In other words, in his Siddur, his Siddur, unlike ours, he had a 4th time. He had U'B'chein Yiskadish, Shim Hashem Elokeinu, and so may your name be sanctified. U'B'chein Ting Pachtchacha, and so may you grant your awe of all your creations. U'B'chein Ting Koved, and so may you grant glory to your people. We have a fault of V'chein Tzadikim Yidu V'Yismocho, and so the righteous will be in awe or see and rejoice. Vishorim, and the upright Yaloizu will exalt Chassidim, and the Chassidim Berino Yagilu, with joy they will celebrate. We have a 4th. So he says that in Rabbi Yosef's, Rabbi Hamnuna Sova's Siddur, handwritten Siddur, obviously, his Machzor, he had 3. He goes on to say, this is in Pashas B'Shalach, Zohar Pashas B'Shalach, that the 3 correspond to the 3 psukim describing just before Kriyas Yamsuf. First one starts Vayisa, and he traveled the Malach. Vayova, he came, Vayet, and he turned. So the Mefarshim of the Zohar explain that all 3 psukim have 72 letters. I actually counted them. It says Ayin Beis Oisius. We all know that Ayin Beis is the complete milli of Shem Havaya. Spelling out Shem Havaya in the fullest way. The Hey spelled Hey, and so on. Milli of Aleph, of Yuds. So he said that corresponds to the 3 of V'cheins. He explains V'chein Yiskadish is Chesed, V'chein Tein Pachtecha is Gevura, you can appreciate, and Kavod, V'chein Tein Kavod is Tiferes. So not more than 3, because that's Ishtarshalus. Stops here. That's Mitzad Ishtarshalus. Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes. Having understood this quote, now let's reread what the Rebbe says. It's just amazing that the Fabrengen begins this way. Like, friend, this is Purim, Tavshin Aleph, this is weeks after Yud Shvat. Tomorrow, for Lord, I'm going to read you the end of the Fabrengen. So I'll just translate it. With respect to the Nusach of the Tefillah of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur says in Zohar, Tlasu B'chein, V'chein, V'chein. 3 of V'cheins. But according to our Nusach, we say V'chein a 4th time. And it's explained, he doesn't say, but it's now they bring from the Tzemach Tzedek, that where, as you just heard, these 3 of V'cheins correspond to the Psukim. Vayisa, Vayova, Vayet. Where's this one? So this is the 4th one. It says Megillas Esther, that Esther said, V'chein ovay el hamelech hashaloi kados. And so I will come to the king, not according to the law, unbidden. That explains, since it's like kados, it's not according to the law, therefore was not put in the Nusach HaTfilah. Hinting at kados means ishtarshalus. The ishtarshalus means what's fair and just and earned. But this is the Koyach of Purim, that even though l'chayra he cannot enter lachatzer apnimi, the inner chamber. Nonetheless, it's given to Koyach to every year that he can go, he can get that Toikev, that even though he knows that it's Loikados. But he sent us later to another part of the Fabeng, and I'll look at it later. But he knows that the Melech HaChashverosh, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Sha'achris, Varesh Shaloi, the beginning and end is his, as it says in Medrash and Brod Chassidus. The Mele, by him is enough geminne, if it's Kados or Loikados, it's by law, not by law. Knowing that there he, in Yiddish, the Rebbe's original language, that sich zusammenkommen, he'll come together with the Eibishter, Sha'achris, Varesh Shaloi, he is not deterred. And this is the klal for every Jew, each one on their level. We're up to this yesterday. And first by prophecy, Purim is not something on its own. Because about Purim it says, we just learned now, the Eden accepted that they began to do, meaning the Matan Torah was only the Aschol Echelu, but the Kabbalah was by Purim. And Purim was the seam and the Gemara, the completion of Matan Torah. Kedover Shalom is a complete thing. Therefore, just like Matan Torah is for the whole year, because Torah mitzvahs is the whole identity of a Yid, so therefore it's understood also that also Purim is not just for Purim, but this is like Matan Torah al Kol Hashon HaKulah for the whole year. And therefore, this is the klal. It's an interesting word. This is the klal. That was giving a principle that applies to everyone universally. And the Rebbe's voice drops, you'll hear. And he sees that there's no eight. Because all of the Amelech Yedim, all the servants of the king know that you cannot enter the Chatzah Primis. So you don't have to be Nispol. Even if he knows it's like Kados, but the Sparen sich ahin so to push his way in. And then, if we will go like they went then, without knowing what's even their outcome. What's the outcome? The king gives the Rosh Hashanah, extends the head of his scepter, and then he gives the entire scepter. As it's explained in my Morim of Chassidus, what does it mean, the Rosh Hashanah of the Melech and the entire scepter? At any rate, it doesn't go into the Pratim here. This is a conduct for the whole year when we see that there's no other choice. So what is left for us? That's how the Sikha ended. And then the Rebbe said the Maimer, Kibla Yehudim, first Purim Maimer, which was subsequently edited in later years, in Tavshimim Tes, 1989. And since we got a minute or two, they said, look at see Sir Zion. I'm trying to read it to see later the Fabrengen. Okay, we'll stop here on maybe tomorrow. Purim. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Purim. So Chevra, we're learning tomorrow. I don't see why not. Huh? Huh? Bezos Hashem Adarav. There should be Adal. It's beautiful. I'll share with you these beautiful words from the Fabrengen. And you have to hear, friends. Just so you'll post it, just to get a sense of. Okay, so Bezos Hashem will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow with Mashiach, who comes today and takes us out of Golos and leads us the rest of the way, all the way.
Amen. Purim Sameach. Call to
Special shout out for New Haven. For Yossi, and actually three of you. The Motchen and the Ephraim. Okay, see you tomorrow, Be'ezer Hashem.
Good day.
You too.